One of the most important things for us to learn in life is to learn the difference between joy and happiness. Joy and happiness. Happiness is the feeling we get when we like the things that are happening. Happiness is about having the outcomes, the circumstances go the way we want. It's a feeling we get. It's an emotion we get. It's the positive response that we experience when we like what's going on. But joy is something much deeper than that. Joy is something that's not based upon what is happening around us, but something that goes much, much further into the core of who we actually are. This is what we see in Hebrews chapter 12, verse 2. It says, "Look to Jesus, the founder and perfecter of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and is seated at the right hand of the throne of God." Now, when you think about the cross, probably think about pain, probably think about agony, probably think about judgment. We definitely think about horror. But what the author of Hebrews is telling us is we should also think about joy. One of the things that's taking place on the cross is joy. It says, for the joy that was set before him, so for the joy that he's going to experience, Jesus endured the cross. He certainly was not happy on the cross. He did not like what was happening. No, his feelings were, I'm sure, negative. He was enduring something. You don't have to endure things that you're happy about. You have to endure things that are really hard. He's enduring something incomprehensibly hard, and yet he's doing it for the joy that's set before him. And so what does joy have to do with it? Well, this shows us that joy is not based upon circumstances. Joy isn't based upon us being happy about what's happening. Joy is about finding our soul's contentment in following God. It says, for the joy set before him. Who's the one who set that joy before him? His Father. Jesus had come to do the Father's will. And so for the joy that was set in front of him of being faithful, to be obedient to the Father and do what the Father had sent him to do, which is accomplish our salvation by taking the judgment of God that we deserve. He took it on our behalf. He did that in obedience to the Father. The night before he died, Jesus prayed, not my will, but your will be done, O Lord. And so on the cross, Jesus is enduring that moment, not feeling happy, but seizing onto joy, because he knows that he is honoring God, obeying the Father, and accomplishing our salvation. And so he is joyful, even though at the same moment he's experiencing agony, anguish, and sorrow. He is joyful and sorrowful at the same time. The joy was set before him, and yet he was experiencing being known, as Isaiah talks about, the man of sorrows and acquainted with much grief. See, here's what we have to understand. Joy is not a feeling, it's a choice. Joy is a choice to experience our soul being contented in honoring God above all things. Joy is a choice of our soul being contented in honoring God above all things. And so if our joy is based upon honoring God, then it does not matter what we're going through. We can experiencing the worst thing in the world. Jesus was experiencing the cross, and yet there was nothing that was happening around him that could deny the joy that God was holding out to him. And so friends, no matter what you're going through, God has made a way for you to know joy. You might not be happy, but you can experience joy. No matter how hard things are going, you can say, God, I want to find my soul's contentment in you. And as you find your soul's contentment in God, that will be the experience of joy. This is what the psalmist is talking about in Psalm 73. He says, even though my heart and my flesh might fail, it's like everything in this world might go bad, like the worst might happen. You are the strength of my heart and my portion forever. It's like you're my portion. You're the one I'm choosing. You're the one I want. Right? Honoring God, living for his glory, communing with him. Friends, that brings the contentment that our souls crave. That is the experience of joy. And so I hope that you're happy today. I hope you have a lot of happy things happen to you this week and in your lifetime. There's nothing wrong with being happy, but God's made a way for us to experience something much deeper than happiness. He's made a way for us to experience joy. For friends, there is joy in God. No matter what we're going through, joy is a choice we can make as we pursue being contented in who God is. And so, friend, hear who God is today. God is the God who wants to bring you joy. No matter what you're going through, no matter how dark your night, there's a light ray of hope that God wants to strike into your heart and bring you joy by allowing you to experience contentment in honoring God and living for His glory as you commune with Him. And so enjoy happiness, but crave joy. Seek to wake up every day to more and more find your contentment in God. That's how you can have joy that's truly unshakable.